So again, welcome to JOC Huddle training number 2, Introduction to Gordian Cloud. Today is Friday, January 20th, 2023. Oops, how about that? My bad, 2023. We still got to get used to it, right? So here's a look at our agenda. I'm very excited to announce that we'll be sunsetting the original eGordian platform. I think I've been on it for about 7 years, Lou. We're really excited at CSU to be introducing the Gordian Cloud. So in a couple of minutes, our good friends at Gordian will be kind of walking us through about how it works. I'll be going over the 2022-23 JOC regional contracts. We'll talk about JOC Huddles on YouTube. So let's get started. So as you guys know, the 2022-2023 JOC regional contracts are still all available for use. I think we've only maxed out one of the contracts so far, but here's a look at all the different contracts regionally that either the northern or southern campuses can use. I will be looking to add several more contracts here in the next couple of weeks. We're going to be procuring probably upwards of about 26 regional contracts. We're going to sunset immediate response. I think all you guys know that immediate response was not working for JOC, but we will be doing the JOC regionals. Immediately after that, I'll be doing JOC roofing. We'll go back to JOC mechanical, hazmat, and paving. I'm also open to any suggestions or if there's any types of contracts that you'd like to see out there for JOC that may be applicable per what statute is requesting us. So I will throw the link in the chat where you can find all these on CSU. You'll actually be able to find the contract information and insurance information, all sorts of great stuff. I'll throw that in the chat here in a second. As you know, we are up to JOC Huddle 20 or 22, and there's a bunch of them that are on YouTube already. So I will actually share this link in the chat as well. If you missed our JOC Huddle, you can go back to YouTube and watch it. Or if you don't want to hear us going back and forth about it, I can actually send you the slide deck. If you just want to take a look at it at your leisure, I can do that as well. Just shoot me an email and let me know which ones you want. Maybe you want all of them. I can send you all of them if you'd like to. I will throw my email in the chat box. Oops, I got too far ahead of myself. Cynthia, without further ado, I'm going to hand it over to you and Paige to talk about our brand new Gordian Cloud. So let me stop my share and let you take over.
All right, awesome, real quick.
Cool.
Thank you.
Of course.
Good morning, everybody. How's everybody doing today? Everybody awake?
Good morning.
Good morning. Just want to do a quick pulse check before we proceeded. So yes, as Jeremy mentioned, without further ado here, we are finally migrating over to the cloud.
Very funny. Very, very funny. Yeah.
Anyway, so what we're going to do this morning is we're going to do a live demo of what the platform looks like. Paige and myself will be doing that just to give you a quick run through of what it looks like for those of you who are still in the process of migrating, and for those of you who are already in the system, how it differs from your campus JOC. There's very, very little difference, but we wanted just to walk you through what the system looks like now. So let me share that screen now. Awesome. So I'm going to go ahead and give you a high-level overview of what the system looks like. Paige is going to get into the nitty-gritty of the job orders. So for those of you who are already on the cloud, this is something that is not new to you. For those of you who are currently migrating, here's what it looks like when you log on, both onto your campus JOC or to your regional JOC. The difference being is this top corner here, you'll see. Rather than having just your campus name listed on here, you'll have a drop down now that shows you can select either from your campus program or you can select from the CSU Chancellor's Office account. So when you log on, you'll have your own dashboard. These are unique to you. So this is basically where you get notifications on any and all things related to your jobs. You can select to view all of the jobs that are assigned to you, or you can select to view all of the jobs in the queue. For this particular program, for the regional JOC, obviously it's recommended that you use only the ones that you're listed as the PM, but then we get into the notion of, okay, let's make sure that you list yourself as the PM on the job. Paige will get into that in a few though. But this is where you get notifications. You do also have the option to receive email notifications on all of these items. That can become overwhelming, but it is completely at your discretion. Once we go live, we'll do a secondary training with anybody and all who want to go through it. And we'll show you how to set all of these up. So I'm going to bypass job orders because Paige will speak on that. And I'm going to head down here into contracts. But this is basically where all of your contracts are going to live. You're going to see the contract name, the contract number, as well as the contract capacity, how much has been used, how many NTPs have been used against it at a quick glance, and how much is your contract balance. So that's a really great mechanism for you guys to quickly check out, okay, can I use this contractor, right? Without having to pull a report, request a report, and all of that fun stuff. So all of your contracts will be available on here. All of the active contracts are available on here. And then when you get into the details of the contract, for example, this one with ACO, you'll see the award date, when it was effective, as well as when it expires. You'll also be able to see the adjustment factors correlated to it, if any. And then also you can jump into the actual job orders through this window. So you can see all of the job orders related specifically to ACO. So you can see if there's any other campus doing similar work with that contractor. So that's a pretty nifty tool there for you guys. And as you can see, some of these are already starting to migrate over from eGordian platform. Right below that, we have projects. This isn't something that's, Projects are typically used, think of these like as a portfolio for your jobs. So these will be used when, if you have multiple buildings doing similar work, this is where you could create a portfolio for those and monitor the budget for that specific project. So that is an available tool there for you, and you can actually allocate funds to it. So if you want to set some funds aside to make sure that your contracts have enough money for it, just to let other campuses know, hey, I'm already going to use this. This would be the mechanism for you to do that. And again, we can show you how to do that further in an individual training. And as you can see, there's already some in here. So your reports. Your reports are listed within the job order, right? So within this system, you have a couple of different ways of accessing your day-to-day reports. You can jump into the job, and within each of the steps of the job, you'll see the report that correlates to that specific step. Or you can jump into the reports tab here, and all of the general reports are listed on here. So there's multiple ways of accessing them. If you're just quickly running through an exercise and need to generate a report, you can do it this way. You can jump into the job as well. You also do have all of your management reports available here to you. Your DVBE tracker, all of your contract tracking by campus, none of that changes. It's just the mechanism under which that we're generating these. So for example, you'll open up the report, and I'm just doing DVBE as an example here. You'll select the contract that you want to use, very similar to the other page. You'll select your contract. Do you want to see your inactive contracts, yes or no? And then you'll generate the report. And let me go back a window here. So right below reports is your directory. This is where all of your campus personnel will be listed at. If for whatever reason someone on your campus site does not have access to the platform, please feel free to reach out to Paige, myself, or your favorite account manager to go ahead and set up this person. The reason why I stipulate that is because our system hard codes the emails, and once you hard code someone, it's really hard to recreate a new person on here. So if you have a new user, just a quick rule of thumb, reach out to one of us and we can get them set up for you. It's just the easiest way. That way, if there's any type of nuances with their name, that gets hard coded, with their job title or with their email address, that gets hard coded, but somebody misspelled their name or there was a lowercase instead of an uppercase, feel free to blame us instead. Also is your catalogs. All of your catalogs are available here as a resource to you. Please bear in mind, this is just the window for you to see the actual catalog. It's not somewhere where you can add it into a physical proposal. If you want to look at the catalog to add in line items to a physical proposal, you'll do that within the job order module. So just a quick little highlight there. This is just for you to access it, view it, And I can open one up just so you can check it out, what it looks like in the system. Ta-da. Again, this is a read-only view, so it's not going to give you the ability to add into it. The cool thing about this platform when you're looking at the CTC, though, is that not only will it tell you all of the listed items, right, that relate to like copper pipe, for example, but it also tells you the division that they live in. So rather than having to feel through to try and sort out or go through this module over here and try and figure out what it is that you're looking for, you can quickly say, okay, well, I'm looking for copper piping as it relates to HVAC, and then weed it down from there. And then it'll also give you a sort by relevance. So whatever closest in relevance that the system thinks that you're looking for. You can sort also on within the proposal module. You'll see a pop-up over here, sort by relevance or by CSI. So you can choose to view it in sequence as you would in eGordian. Otherwise, it'll sort it by relevance based on what you've written in here. This is the closest to what you wrote in the search box. Any questions on this particular aspect? Cool. All right. And last but not least is the settings. This is something that we at Gordian monitor for you and we track for you. So those are basically there, but those are for our administrative vigilance, basically. Cool. And so that's kind of a quick overview. Is there any questions on the overall program, the feel of the program? Paige will get into, again, the job orders here in just a second, but is there any questions on the overview? It looks like there might be some stuff in the chat here. Let me double check. Oh, no, just Jeremy.
Yeah, Cynthia. So we have some custom reports. And again, I don't know the mechanics behind tracking. So you obviously know we've had issues with invoicing, and there were a couple of custom reports. In fact, I was looking through all our contracts on the old system, looking for what would generate, like approved price proposal, NTP dates, and statuses. So those custom reports, did those migrate here too? So I would be able to run a report, say, to capture anything that maybe had a NTP date. I don't know how this system is going to generate the invoice. So,
okay, awesome. So on this particular platform, it differs from eGordian. So to answer your question on custom reports, all of the standard reports that were in the system in eGordian have migrated over. If there's a specific one that you're looking for, we can certainly try and add it. However, I think for what you're asking for invoicing and NTP tracker, that you can generate off of one of the management reports that exist here. Yes. So if you're trying to track NTP, you can do a contract tracking report. Yeah.
So it will show all the crucial information, the status,
yes,
if it has an NTP date, and if the price proposal was approved. I think those are the three criteria that the old system used to generate a invoice. So is that the same in this system? Correct. To generate an invoice?
Correct.
Okay. All right.
Good questions. Any other questions?
No, Cynthia, but I wanted to mention that the drop down, usually when you sign in, it's on yourself, right? So you have to click that to the appropriate section.
On which drop down? I'm sorry.
By your name right there. Usually it'll say your name and not the name you're looking for.
Oh, I see. So you'll have to make sure that you select the Chancellor's office on here, is what you're saying.
Correct.
Okay. Thank you. Good note.
Actually,
yes.
I think we have to change. So I think our two defaults in the old system was Chancellor's office, which it defaulted to, but we're Cal Poly. So our contracts, there was a drop down for Cal Poly CSU. So
in this particular system, it'll go by what you were logged in last at. So if yesterday you were on the Chancellor's office, today when you log in, it'll default to the Chancellor's office, and vice versa. If you were on Cal Poly's yesterday, it'll default to Cal Poly today. And then after a while, it'll reset, and then it'll give you like the two options. Awesome. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and hand it over to Paige.
Great. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem.
Cool. So here we are in our job order screen, directly under the word job orders. There are 3 tabs. You've got all, assigned, deleted. You can click on all. It'll give you all of the projects or job orders that are in the system. And if you click on assigned, it will give you a nice short list of which job orders that are assigned directly to you. So that's a nice little area of tab here. And then similarly to eGordian, any wording that's in blue or numbers that are in blue, you can click on it to open up into another screen. So same as here, to open your project, you can click on the job order number for this one. And it will populate a new screen for you. And there are many tabs across towards the top of the screen. The tabs go left to right in sequence of how your project will work. So initially you've got your details screen, which will list out the job order details. You've got a status there towards the top, job order number, the name, the value will populate there once there's an approved proposal, who the contractor is. All of those little details will be listed here in the lovely named Details tab. Next, this box here, Additional Information, will house more additional info, including a place for you to add your campus. That's going to be really important. I know on this demo screen that we have today, it's kind of in the middle of the screen. We have made a request to have that to populate first thing at the top of this box. So that is in the works. In order to make changes here, towards the right of this box is a little edit button, and that is what you will click on to make your changes. And then click save in the bottom corner when you're done.
Hey, a quick note. I believe someone had mentioned this before, but when you select your campus, is it correct to say that your campus logo will populate onto the reports?
Yes, that is correct. So yep, once you select your campus, then we know what campus the job order is for. And then additionally, yes, any reports that you pull for this job order will populate your logo on the top.
Perfect. Thank you.
Yes, great question. So I think, is there anything else on the bottom of the screen, Cynthia, if you can scroll all the way down? Oh, and just your job order notes, similar to how eGordian worked. Anything you want to throw in there, click edit, make your changes, and save. So next tab over, we do have milestones. This is going to be similar to your tracking dates. You can add in plan dates, your actual dates. You can add remarks on any line, just as you could in eGordian. And from these dates here in milestones, they will populate into other sections of this job order as well. So we'll show you in the other screens. Next, initiation. Here across the very top is an area for the date. It automatically populates on your project initiation when you create a job order. This date will populate back in that milestone tab. Also in this tab, you will add your brief scope of work here, and then just below that is the people section. This one is very important. You need to add your people that are associated with this project in the section. And I have all of you guys in this meeting hovering over there. So you would click on add new person towards the right to add people to this project. And by doing that, the people added will be added as signature lines on different reports. They also will be getting your email notifications that you set up. So if there's no people listed, nobody's going to be aware the project is happening. As this goes live, as you have questions, we will be happy to help you and assist you with this area too.
And also, if you prefer to view your assigned view that Paige mentioned a little while ago, if you're not listed on here as a PM, it's not going to populate on your assigned.
Yes, right. Just under people, we have estimates. This one here, if you have the time to set up an estimate, this would be where you do that. You can click on create estimate, give it a name, and go in and create that. If you're doing it for budget purposes, if you're doing it to make sure that your proposal that comes in is accurate, please feel free to use this tool. Do we have anything listed under estimates on here, Cynthia? Oh, well, yeah, that's what the screen would look like for an estimate.
Yeah, you can toggle into the catalog, use the same catalog. One cool thing to note for your contractors is if they build an estimate, they can directly import it into their proposal.
And this estimate screen is only visible to your campus. This estimate tab will not be visible to the contractor. So you can be aware that that is safe for you to view. Are there any reports listed under estimates on the screen?
No, not on the screen. I don't think those have been assigned yet to each of the sections.
Perfect. Okay. So next area is a joint scope meeting. If you are going to have one for this job order, you can add this information here. Under the joint scope meeting details, there's another section that says brief scope work, and that will auto-populate from the initiation tab. You do not have to enter it twice.
One thing to note that hasn't been fully set up yet and will be before go live is the reports. As I mentioned before, you can either access the reports on this tab over here, or they'll be viewable in each of the individual steps, right? So there'll be a view report section down here, and you'll be able to see, for example, under initiation, the job order checklist, under joint scope, the joint scope meeting invite, under scope development, the scope of work, right? Proposal, the price proposal, the subcontractor listing, and so on and so forth. Issue, job order, you'll see the JOA and the NTP.
Yeah, go and click scope development. Again, the first thing that will pop up are dates. You can add the dates in this location and it will populate back into the milestones or vice versa. You only have to enter the dates in one spot. The brief scope of work again is listed. It will populate from the other tabs. But new on the screen is your detailed scope of work. So you can add your detailed scope here. Just below that detailed scope box. Oh, there you go. Thank you, Cynthia. So you can copy paste, you can type in text, whatever that detailed scope looks like for you, please add it. And under this box is the scope of work documents. And this is where you can upload, clicking on the right, any additional documents needed for this job order can be added here.
And this is a cloud-based system, so it has a larger bandwidth to be able to hold bigger files.
Yeah. And this brief scope of work, detailed scope of work, any attachments you add, they will be visible to the contractor once you send that over. I think next our proposal tab is listed here. We've got those dates again listed on the top. Under that is your price proposal, and this is where it will live. You've got different versions. The most recent version will be on top. For this sample, it looks like it has been approved. We have a kind of grayed out red unapproved box listed. That's how we know that is there. You've got prices here. You can click again on anything blue, version 2.0, version 1.0, to take a look at those. And then you have a box here for the non-pre-price quote documents. So you can add those here in this area. Any subcontractors that are listed on a project will be added in that subcontractor section. That is done by the contractor. But once they submit that proposal over, it will populate any subs into that box for them. No longer do you have to click export and make sure everything comes over. It's all really done in real time. Reality, you can be on the phone with your contractor, working with them on the proposal, and you can see everything that they're doing. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's awesome.
And their last tab, the issue job order tab, there are dates listed on the top. And then you've got those issue job order documents that you can upload here. If you have your assigned job order package, you can upload it there to save it, to keep everything in one place. when everything is totally done, you can always save your notice of completion here, or anything that's needed for the job. So, and that's that.
So can I ask, so we had a scale down process, and I don't know if this system is going to, if you have to actually complete all steps. But what most of our project managers have done in the past in the Gordian system, they provided, the project, description. And then basically they worked with the contractor, with a joint scope meeting to discuss the details that. And then all they would really do in the Gordian system was put in a brief scope and a detailed scope. And then they would submit the job. And then there was a transmittal tab, and the contractor would send that transmittal, they would open it up, and then they would view the price proposal there. Where would the transmittal, does this system allow still that simple at ease? I know it's probably not the best in the system, but where would you look? Once, I didn't see a send job button like the old system and transmittal. So how would you, if you put in? Okay.
Yeah, that's a really great question. So in the system, the transmittal button goes away. All of the proposal review that goes back and forth happens real time in this module. As your contractor builds out a price proposal, it'll create a version 1.1. And then you'll send your comments, that'll send a 1.2. It'll create a version 1.2. So you'll be able to succinctly track each of the iterations of the proposal, which the last system couldn't really do very well. Everything have it via email, PDF notes, things like that. The system will track it all internally. And as soon as you hit send the job, they'll receive it on their end via a button that pops up on here. It'll say send job order. And then that's all that happens. They'll see it in that moment rather than you have.
So they will actually have to create a proposal now in order to send a job instead of just that send job button. Because before I'm sorry.
Yeah. So in order to just initially send the job over for them to view it, right? So you create the job before you create the brief scope of work, the detailed scope of work. You're going to issue them a request for proposal, right? And you just want to send it over to them. You'll hit send to contractor, and then that'll automatically send it over to their side of the fence. So they'll be able to see it real time, and they'll also get a notifications. If they have all of their notifications set up and you assign them as the contractor, they'll automatically get a notification. Hey, you have a new job. Here you go. And then they'll go into the system and view the actual job order. They'll have a button that says create the price proposal, right? And they'll start building it out. Once they build it out and they send it over to you, it's just a click of a send job order, send over a price proposal, sorry. Once they do that, you'll automatically see it on your side. And
in
then
this proposal section, and this is where they could view and then approve. Okay.
Correct. So there's no more transmittals. We've done away with that step. It's much more automated.
Okay.
And it also keeps track of the changes. So you'll see here, had this been like, I don't know, 120,000, right? Now we're at 90,000. It'll show you, okay, from the previous iteration to this one, we're saving about $30,000. It's a minus 30,000, right? Changes from your initial proposal. This is a really great mechanism for tracking the changes, for being able to review the modifications that have happened between each of the proposal iterations. It'll also allow you to do a compare versions real time. So it'll tell you the contractor has added this many line items. Here they are. They've modified these many line items, and this is how much they modified it by. And they've also deleted this many line items. Here they are. Here's what they deleted. And you can run a direct comparison between each of the versions. So you can say, wait. We've gone down the rabbit hole here. Where did we start out, and how does it differ now, right? We're in proposal 6 now. How does it differ from when we started off? You can run a direct comparison that way, real time as well. So this has a lot of really cool little widgets to help you automate this process.
Okay, and there should only be one approved proposal in this item, correct?
That creates the version 2.0.
Okay, so basically that unapproved, there's no way of having 2 proposals. And then you guys would invoice once we issue the NTP based on the actual one approved proposal that's in the system. Okay.
Correct. Yeah, it's a lot more automated.
Okay.
Cool. Are there any other questions?
There were a couple of questions actually in the chat. So let me scroll back up. I was actually having some meaningful dialogue about the immediate response. I had mentioned that we're sunsetting those. It's kind of a slippery slope with those immediate response, doing it under JOC, mainly because it wasn't done right. Some campuses didn't know what they were doing, and contractors took advantage of them, unfortunately. So we're just going to go ahead and sunset it. Additionally, statute says that we're only supposed to do maintenance and repetitive work, not really emergency work. But there's good news. EH&S and procurement is actually going to start procuring emergency contracts system-wide for the campuses. I think they're going to do at least one, maybe even up to 3 different emergency contractors to help out. This is going to be completely separate to JOC. So if you do have an emergency, you'll be able to use that contract. The other good news, though, is that our immediate response contracts don't expire until I think the end of May. So campuses, you guys can actually use them up until the end of May. But after that, we will be sunsetting it. Another question we had from Stan State, can you write your meeting notes, your meeting minutes down anywhere? Cynthia, I think you could do that in the past, or?
Oh, yeah. So like the questions in the chat, we can extract those if you'd like.
Sure.
Yeah.
So the next, so where would he put the meeting notes in the?
Oh, so you mean, oh, sorry, I misinterpreted that question. So if they have meeting minutes that they want to include into, there's a couple of different spaces that they can put it in. They can put it into the scope of work documents. They can put it into the issue job order documents if they want to keep track of them that way. There's a couple of different areas where they can track their meeting minutes in there.
And then, of course, if campuses, if you have any questions, don't hesitate to reach out to your Gordian account rep. I got another question from CSU LA. How do I move past the Gordian identity server? I don't know what that is. Do you guys know what that is?
I don't. I asked her to send me a screenshot of what it is that she's looking at so that we could take care of it.
So on the identity server, you guys just need to coordinate with support and copy your account manager, and they'll fix that on the back end.
Yeah,
Screenshot and that would work good, and they're quick and easy. I've ran into it a couple of times. It has something to do with the back end of, as Cynthia said, certain things get hard coded and sometimes they're not quite as good of friends. So support just has to do a little magic, and then that notification, or shall I say, stopping point, goes away.
Yeah, I've been assisting April on that. She was trying to log in. I got her to joc.gordiancloud.com. That's where we all have to log in to be able to use the system.
Do you want
Lou, can you put that in the chat,
please?
Robert, I see your hand. What is your question?
Yeah, I got your question.
Yeah, that was one. I have a couple others I'll throw out there too, but
Perfect.
yeah, I'll shoot it for everybody to hear. There's a couple on the date, like say on the this is the one I asked you, Cynthia, on the, like say on the tracking dates or the people in eGordian, you know, there would be some red fields that which ones we had to populate. Are there going to be some designation as to which fields are required to be populated versus which are, you know, at our discretion?
I'll answer that one really quick. When you create a new job order, or if you're in a screen that needs you to add information, there'll be an asterisk next to the required area.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Kind of related to what Rick asked earlier, he was talking that they had their own kind of streamlined system. Will the system be able to designate different levels of users, say, you know, a basic, you know, PM versus an administrator, or different level? They might not need to see everything. Certain people might not need to see everything others do, and that might just confuse things.
Yeah, we will have certain roles set up, assigned, and I think we can specify that towards your campus needs. So we can work with you guys individually to set those up.
Okay. I noticed on the report page, it references Easy IQC. I was just wondering, since we don't use that, we don't need that. Does that need to be there?
Correct. That's just the standard module. It'll be blank if you go into it, but it's just the standard thing that is in all of our systems.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
I got a question in the chat. Is there an easier way to access to the older JOCs that we can access for historical data? Right now, Gordian Cloud doesn't allow you to look past a few years back.
So as far as referencing historical data, those will always live in eGordian. If there is something in specific that you're looking for, that's something that you can always reach out to us to ask for, and we can get it for you. Because once you sunset, as Jeremy mentioned, you're sunsetting into a new platform, right? So you'll only have access to the one eventually. So if there's still jobs that you want to look at, like if you mention, oh, well, there's a job from like 2 years ago that I know had a similar scope that I'd like to check out, we can generate that for you.
So did you guys actually, are you migrating any active job work orders, or are all the contracts that are in the cloud newer contracts? So example, I noticed that we have some projects and jobs that have closed and the statuses just had never changed to complete. So are you guys migrating those if we hadn't changed the status on these older contracts? Or I'm just trying to see how you guys, the transition is going. Do we need to do a cleanup in the Gordian?
There's a cleanup effort currently going on. So on all of the jobs that are older, as they relate to the regional JOCs, we'll reach out to you on those individual cases and figure out if they are truly still active or if they need to be closed out, so that way they don't need to be, transitioned over. If there's any active jobs that are still going on that need to be transitioned, then we'll transition them over.
Okay.
So Gordian, my big question, I don't have any other questions. My big question is, when's the big transition day? When are we going to fully migrate over?
I knew this question was coming. So as of right now, we have a tentative go live for the week of February 13th. We still need to verify with our team that that's the set date, but we're tentatively set up for the 13th, that week of.
Great. So a nice Valentine's Day.
Happy Valentine's Day, you guys.
Yeah. And then you guys are all going to go on vacation and leave us all alone with the new system.
Figure it out. No, just kidding. Not at
all. Well, great. Here's a look at our upcoming training. We got JOC Huddle 22 coming up, bid factor advantages and disadvantages. So that'll be on February 24th, 2023. I'll be sending out an invite either today or on Monday for that. JOC deep dive trainings are available upon request, either in person or online. I'm sure you guys will have plenty of questions about cloud. So we'll probably be delving into cloud during those deep dives, as well as reach out to your account reps. They can help you either with the regional contracts, or they can help you set up your own campus contracts. These are great for more remote campuses. So if you're thinking like a big general contractor is not going to come and see you, and you want to get more into your area, to your to your local contractors, definitely reach out to your account reps. They can help you get set up with a campus JOC contract. And this one's my favorite. Last but not least, CSU will host the CJE JOC certificate program. So we're definitely going to have one set up this summer. I don't have the dates yet. CJE is the Center of JOC Excellence. I'm actually on the board as well as Lou with Gordian, and it's an outside training program. Think of it as the CMAA, but for JOC. So we'll be having a 2-day certificate, or it's a training program, and then you can go take your certificate after the 2 days. So we're going to have one at the Chancellor's office, and I want to talk to my good friends up in the northern campuses, maybe East Bay or Sacramento, can do one for the northern campuses. So more shall be revealed on that one. But thank you to everybody that attended. And if there's no more questions, I'm going to give you back a little more time.
Jeremy, I have a quick, did you want to bring up in this forum the discounts?
Oh, could you do that?
Yeah. So just to let you know, CSU has if the entire system reaches a certain level of volume for the previous year, they go to the next discount to discount the Gordian fees and everything. And right now we're right at that cusp. I'm not sure if we're going to reach it or not. So if you have anything that you need to pass through, this would be the time to do it. And I don't want to, sound like this, but it's like, it is so close. I want to make sure that we can give you a discount. That's why I'm bringing this up. Sure, we make more money if you don't reach it, but I want to see you reach that discount level.
Perfect, Lou. Thanks for that. Thanks for that PSA at the end. So yes, if you do have contracts that you want to get done, you want to get them done right now. The contracts are available. I put the link in the chat, either regionally or on your campuses. All of those contracts are still good. And then back to the immediate response really quick. Don't forget, you still can use it through the end of May. It'll just be sunsetting after that. So.
Also, I've just looked up the IRA contracts and they are extended out just a little bit further than May. So we do have one for the very end of July, and then a couple are ending the very beginning of August.
Perfect.
So, yeah.
Awesome. Thanks for that update, Paige.
Sure.
Awesome. Everybody have a great weekend.
One last quick question. Where do we find a list of our reps that support our campus, all reps?
That's a great question. Do you guys want to go over that really quick?
Yeah, so we can send you an updated list. I don't think we've sent one out as of.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Cynthia. I think I always just thought you were our one and only rep, and I know you have probably stuff to do too.
Well, she's the best rep. Just kidding, guys. Oh, John just gave me the.
No, but I can reach out to you and send you a full list, Rick.
Okay, I'll pass it on to our team too, just in case they have questions.
So what I'll do is when I send out the YouTube link for this and the slides, we'll also send out a PDF with all of your campus contacts. Sound good? Awesome.
Right. Great. Thanks.
Thanks, guys.
All right. Thanks, everyone.
Everybody, enjoy yourselves.